If you're taking vitamin D3 supplements right now, you need to stop and listen. Because according to research, taking D3 without its partner nutrient, K2, could be sending calcium to the wrong places in your body, including your arteries. And what that means for your heart health, we need to talk about it. Let's start with vitamin D3. Most people know it as the sunshine vitamin, and for good reason. Your body produces it when your skin gets sunlight. But here's the thing. Most of us aren't getting enough sun exposure, especially if you live in northern climates or spend your days indoors. So we supplement. And that makes sense, because vitamin D3 is crucial for so many things: immune function, bone health, mood regulation, and even hormone production. According to research in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology, nearly 42% of American adults are vitamin D deficient, so supplementing seems like a no-brainer, right? Here's where it gets interesting. One of vitamin D3's main jobs is increasing calcium absorption in your gut. That's how it helps build strong bones. But, and this is important, D3 doesn't tell that calcium where to go. It just brings more calcium into your bloodstream. And without the right guidance, that calcium can end up in places you don't want it, like your arteries, your kidneys, your soft tissues. This is where vitamin K2 comes in. Now, vitamin K1, which you get from leafy greens, is mainly involved in blood clotting. K2, on the other hand, activates proteins that control where calcium goes in your body. Specifically, K2 activates two critical proteins: osteocalcin, which pulls calcium into your bones and teeth, and matrix GLA protein, which prevents calcium from depositing in your arteries and soft tissues. According to research in the journal Nutrients, K2 is essential for proper calcium metabolism. But here's the problem. Most Western diets are severely lacking in K2. It's found mainly in fermented foods like natto, certain cheeses, and animal products from grass-fed animals. Unless you're eating these regularly, you're probably deficient. So you've got vitamin D3 flooding your body with calcium, and K2 is supposed to direct that calcium to the right places. But if you're taking D3 without K2, that's like hiring a delivery truck to bring supplies, but having no one to tell the driver where to unload. Here's where the synergy becomes critical. Vitamin D3 and K2 work as a team, not as solo players. D3 increases calcium absorption, K2 directs that calcium to your bones and teeth while keeping it out of your arteries. This isn't just theory. According to research published in Thrombosis and Haemostasis, when you take D3 without adequate K2, you can actually increase your risk of arterial calcification. That's the hardening of arteries that contributes to cardiovascular disease. Think about it this way. D3 is like turning up the volume on calcium in your bloodstream. K2 is the conductor, making sure all that calcium goes to the right instruments, your bones and teeth, instead of causing chaos in your arteries. There's even a term for this, the calcium paradox. It's when your bones are weak and osteoporotic while your arteries are simultaneously calcifying and hardening. You've got too little calcium where you need it and too much where you don't. According to the Rotterdam Study, which followed over 4,800 people for 7 years, higher vitamin K2 intake was associated with reduced arterial calcification and a 50% reduction in cardiovascular mortality. That's huge. So when you combine D3 and K2, you're optimizing calcium metabolism. D3 ensures you're absorbing enough calcium, and K2 ensures that calcium is being used properly. They're not just compatible, they're complementary. Okay, quick pause. If this is making sense and you're realizing you might need to add K2 to your D3, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe and like button. Drop a comment. Are you currently taking D3 alone or with K2? All right, let's keep going. So what are the actual benefits of taking D3 and K2 together? Let's break down what the research shows. Benefit number 1, proper calcium metabolism. This is the foundation. D3 brings calcium in, K2 directs it to bones and teeth. According to research in Osteoporosis International, this combination optimizes calcium use and reduces the risk of calcium ending up in the wrong tissues. Benefit number 2, stronger bones and reduced fracture risk. Multiple studies show D3 plus K2 improves bone mineral density better than D3 alone. According to research in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research, K2 supplementation significantly reduces fracture risk in postmenopausal women. Benefit number 3, cardiovascular protection. This is the big one. According to studies published in Atherosclerosis, K2 activates matrix GLA protein, which actively prevents calcium from depositing in arterial walls. Less arterial calcification means lower cardiovascular risk. Benefit number 4, reduced arterial stiffness. Arterial stiffness is a major predictor of heart disease. Research in Thrombosis and Haemostasis shows that K2 supplementation can slow or even reverse arterial stiffening, especially when combined with adequate D3 levels. Benefit number 5, immune system support. Vitamin D3 is well known for immune function. According to research in the Journal of Investigative Medicine, adequate D3 levels support both innate and adaptive immunity, helping your body fight infections more effectively. Benefit number 6, anti-inflammatory effects. Both D3 and K2 have been shown to reduce inflammatory markers. According to studies in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences, K2 specifically helps reduce chronic inflammation, which is linked to most age-related diseases. Benefit number 7, dental health. Here's one people don't talk about enough. K2 activates osteocalcin in your teeth, making them stronger and more resistant to decay. According to research in the Journal of Dental Research, K2 deficiency is associated with increased dental problems. Benefit number 8, better insulin sensitivity. According to research in diabetes care, both D3 and K2 have been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolism. This combo could be particularly beneficial for people concerned about blood sugar regulation. Benefit number 9, hormone production support. Vitamin D3 is actually a hormone precursor. According to studies in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology, adequate D3 levels support testosterone production in men and overall hormonal balance in both sexes. Benefit number 10, reduced risk of osteoporosis. The combination of D3 and K2 addresses osteoporosis from multiple angles, increasing calcium absorption, directing it to bones, and activating bone-building proteins. According to research in Osteoporosis International, this combo is more effective than either nutrient alone. So, who should actually be paying attention to this combination? Let's get specific. First and most obvious, anyone currently taking vitamin D3 supplements. If you're supplementing with D3, you should seriously consider adding K2. You're already increasing calcium absorption. You need to make sure that calcium is going to the right places. Seniors. As we age, both bone density and arterial health become critical concerns. According to research, older adults are at higher risk for both osteoporosis and cardiovascular disease. The D3 plus K2 combo addresses both issues simultaneously. People with low sun exposure. If you live in northern climates, work indoors, or cover your skin for cultural or medical reasons, you're likely D3 deficient. And if you're supplementing D3 to compensate, you need K2 to optimize that supplementation. Postmenopausal women. According to research in Maturita, postmenopausal women face accelerated bone loss and increased cardiovascular risk. The D3 and K2 combination addresses both of these concerns with strong research backing. Anyone with a family history of heart disease. If cardiovascular disease runs in your family, preventing arterial calcification should be a priority. According to studies, K2 is one of the few nutrients shown to actually reduce existing arterial calcification. People concerned about osteoporosis. If you have low bone density or a family history of fractures, this combo is essential. The research shows it's more effective for bone health than calcium supplementation alone. Vegans and vegetarians. Plant-based diets are typically very low in K2, which is found mainly in animal products and fermented foods. If you're vegan or vegetarian and taking D3, K2 supplementation becomes even more important. All right, so let's get practical. How do you actually use this combination? Dosages. Research typically uses 100 to 200 micrograms of vitamin K2, specifically the MK7 form, which is the most bioavailable, for every 5,000 IU of vitamin D3. So if you're taking 5,000 IU of D3 daily, you'd want 100 to 200 mcg of K2 MK7. Forms matter. For vitamin D3, you want cholecalciferol, not ergocalciferol. For K2, the MK7 form is superior to MK4 because it stays in your bloodstream longer. According to research in the Journal of Nutrition, MK7 is significantly more effective at activating K2-dependent proteins. Combined or separate. You can buy D3 and K2 in a single capsule, or you can take them separately. Either works. The important thing is that you're taking both. If you're buying them separately, make sure you're getting the right forms and ratios. Timing. Both D3 and K2 are fat-soluble vitamins, which means they need to be taken with fat for optimal absorption. Take them with a meal that contains some healthy fats. Breakfast with eggs, avocado, or nuts works great. How much fat? You don't need a lot. According to research, even 10 to 15 grams of fat is sufficient to enhance absorption. A tablespoon of olive oil, a handful of nuts, or half an avocado would be plenty. Testing your levels. Before you start high-dose D3 supplementation, consider getting a baseline vitamin D blood test. According to research, optimal levels are between 40 and 60 Ng per ml. This helps you know if you're taking the right dose and prevents oversupplementation. Now, here's the critical safety information. Please pay attention to this part. Vitamin K2 and blood thinners. If you're taking warfarin or other blood-thinning medications, you must talk to your doctor before taking K2. Vitamin K affects blood clotting, and K2 can interfere with warfarin's effectiveness. This is not optional. This is a serious drug interaction. According to research in Thrombosis and Haemostasis, patients on warfarin need medical supervision if they're considering K2 supplementation. Your doctor may need to adjust your medication dose. Vitamin D3 toxicity. While rare, it is possible to take too much D3. According to the National Institutes of Health, the upper safe limit is 4,000 IU daily for most adults, though many experts consider up to 10,000 IU safe with monitoring. Excessive D3 can cause hypercalcemia, too much calcium in the blood. Pregnancy and nursing. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, consult your healthcare provider before supplementing with D3 and K2. While both are important during pregnancy, dosages need to be appropriate for your specific situation. Existing health conditions. If you have kidney disease, hyperparathyroidism, or sarcoidosis, you need medical supervision before taking D3 supplements. These conditions affect calcium metabolism, and supplementation could be problematic. Bottom line, these are powerful nutrients. They're generally safe, but they interact with medications and health conditions. Always consult your healthcare provider before starting any new supplement regimen. This is especially important if you're on medications or have existing health issues. Okay, real talk. Let me be completely transparent about what the research shows and what it doesn't. The research on D3 alone is rock solid. We know it's essential for immune function, bone health, and numerous other processes. Thousands of studies confirm this. The research on K2 is also strong, particularly regarding bone health and cardiovascular protection. The research specifically on D3 and K2 together is growing, but still emerging. Most of what we know comes from understanding each nutrient individually and how they interact in calcium metabolism. There are some direct studies on the combination, but we need more long-term clinical trials. That said, the mechanistic science makes perfect sense. D3 increases calcium absorption, K2 directs that calcium. The biological pathways are well understood. According to research in nutrients, the synergy between these vitamins is supported by both mechanism and clinical evidence. Are there gaps in the research? Yes. Do we need more long-term studies on optimal ratios and outcomes? Absolutely. But based on what we currently know about how these nutrients work, the combination is scientifically rational and well supported. I'm not here to sell you magic pills or make wild claims. I'm here to share what the research actually shows. And the research strongly suggests that if you're taking D3, adding K2 is a smart, science-based decision. So here's the bottom line. If you're taking vitamin D3 supplements, you should seriously consider adding K2. The research shows that D3 increases calcium absorption, and K2 ensures that calcium goes to your bones and teeth and not your arteries. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about optimization. These two vitamins work as a team, and taking them together just makes scientific sense based on how they function in your body. So here's my question for you. Are you currently taking D3 alone? Are you going to add K2 after watching this? Or are you already taking them together? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this video helped you understand why this combination matters, do me a favor, hit that like button and share it with someone who's taking D3 alone. They need to know this information. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because I do deep dives like this regularly on health topics that actually matter, evidence-based, research-backed, no hype, just science. Check out my other videos while you're here. I've got content on other supplement combinations, natural remedies, and health optimization strategies that you'll find valuable. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.